Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, it's 2 o'clock, and that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. I know we're running a few minutes late today, and well, it just kind of happens that way sometimes. And of course, I'm your host, Kate Dillon from Crate Insider. And for anybody who was watching last week, it was crazy, right? I mean, I was getting to the part with the giveaways, and all of a sudden, it just stopped, right? Now, we've all watched a live video where maybe they lose internet connection or something like that. Well, let me tell you what really happened. So on this side of the camera, all of a sudden there was this screeching noise that was yelling from my speaker. I mean, this screeching, loud screeching noise. And then when I went to move my cursor wouldn't move anywhere. So I thought, this is the classic example of all you need to do is just restart a computer, turn it off, turn it back on again, all will be well. Well, that wasn't so much. So when I turned the computer back on, it would make all the computer noises, but there was nothing visible on the monitors, and so I didn't know what happened. And so what we're looking at today is basically a new computer setup. I did fix the other one. It turns out that when I kicked it earlier in the day because it was being loud, I knocked the heatsink loose and it overheated, and that's why I didn't want to start. So apparently kicking a computer will make it make less noise, but it is not a good long-term solution. So I don't know. Anyway, that's where we're at with this. And so anyway, thank you for bearing with me. And of course, we did pick a couple of giveaways. Speaking of giving away, I'll tell you about what we're giving away this week is that, I just love our manufacturers. We have the best manufacturers anywhere. And sometimes they'll call me and be like, okay, Kate, I've got something. I want you to give it away to your audience. And so today, what we're looking at is the Daytona 1 spray lube. So Buck from Daytona 1 gave me a call. He's like, hey, I want to send you some of this so you can give it away on your show. So I do have a case of it, but so today we're going to give away 2 of these spray lubes. Now what's really cool about this, of course, it can be used for anywhere you would need a spray lubricant. Think of anywhere where you would use WD-40. But the cool thing about this bottle is it doesn't have an accelerant in it. So like hairspray, for instance, has an accelerant in order to all of those bad gases, right? Well, this doesn't have that because Buck didn't want to put in any accelerants because then it dilutes the product and you're not getting pure product that way. So instead, this is like a specially designed bottle with an airbag inside of here, and it's totally separate, so then it pushes that out and it's totally clean, pure product. The cool thing about it is he also designed it so that this bottle will spray upside down, sideways, however you need to, if you're in awkward positions, no worries, you can just go ahead and use this however, and it'll spray in all of the different orientations without even missing a beat. It's also continuous spray, so unlike, like with a spray paint, how you just try to hold down the trigger, you're just kind of run out of steam at some point. Well, that's not going to happen because this has the air in it, that air bladder, and it's, just really, really cool. So the Daytona 1 spray lube is a fantastic product, and we'll be giving away a couple of those on the show today. And the other product, we'll move on to another featured product. Yesterday we put out a video, and that video was for our Walker Performance foam filters. And since that time, I've definitely gotten some questions, so I thought I'd go ahead and answer them right here on the show. So first of all, somebody asked, do you slide this over your regular filter? And that is yes. So this is going to be fun because I'm doing this in the air, and this is not how this is meant to be done, but yeah, it just goes over the top, just like this. I'm always oh, look at that, I got it all on here. So then we'll just adjust it. Got my hair in there too, apparently. So if you got long hair, watch out. Oh my God, the things that become a thing on this show. So the purpose of this, why do you want a foam filter for your air filter? The reason why is because what Walker found was that using the traditional pre-filters, that they don't have any dust trapping ability. And, the idea is you think you need a pre-filter. Now, a pre-filter, any kind of a pre-filter, because this is a pre-filter as well, what you're really trying to do with a pre-filter is you're trying to keep out mud clots. If what we're talking about is dust, it has been suggested to me from Ed Soroka from R2C Performance. I used to do a lot of business with them. And they said, if you're on a dusty track, don't use a pre-filter. The reason why is because all you're doing is you're impeding the flow of air. And you don't want to do that. It's not going to trap any of the dust or keep the dust out. The only reason for like those other pre-filters is to keep mud clods or rocks out of your air filter. So Walker was finding that the restriction was too much for their air filters in a lot of cases, so they've released this foam filter. This way, with a foam filter, it can impact, I mean, because you can see it's about, I don't know, it looks like about 3/4 of an inch thick or so. It can take the impacts, like if you got rocks or mud, any of that flying at your air filter, which of course could go through it or, you know, do some damage, it'll absorb those impacts. It'll also trap some of the dust or be able to kind of grab it, but the best thing about it is it's not going to impact the amount of air that can get through. We do not want to restrict the air. So that's why you would want a foam pre-filter, and they run, let's see, $45. I didn't say how much the spray lube is. I don't know how much that is off the top of my head. So we did a video on it where I was talking to Ben Walker from Walker Performance, and that's out on our website, or it's probably in the product listing, and it was on Facebook and YouTube as well yesterday. So you can check that out if that's something you're interested in. So before we jump into the top 5, I'm gonna just say hi to some folks here. I see Brandon and Mike and Steve. You guys are all here. And nobody has anything like, hey, can't hear you, so that tells me all the equipment is working, because it's always fun. Dave says, I will never kick my stuff again. You know, it worked really well. See, I loved my computer. Well, I still love it. I tend to buy gamer computers because of the video editing. And so they're all flashy and stuff, but they have all these fans on them now. And I'll tell you, I mean, I loved that computer, but my goodness, it was the loudest computer I've ever known in my life. And yeah, so, and yeah, I'll take it and use it on my wheel bearings, low drag, heck yeah. For the spray lube, that's great. Let's see, would that pre-filter work on an R2C filter? I don't know why it wouldn't. These filters are about the same size. This happens to be the 4-inch Walker, so it would be about the same size as a 4-inch R2C, so it shouldn't be a problem. And Rusty says, I found AutoWare's pre-filters work great. I mean, they do work great. It's just always depends on your particular conditions that you're racing in. And this is just in a way for you to adjust to your particular conditions on that particular night at a track. So just different options. And then what's the 602 crate run? Oh, are you talking about like the engines, Brandon? I don't know how much they are off the top of my head, but just CrateInsider.com, and under products you can go to engines area, and we've got them a few different ways. So depending on what you need for different kinds of seals and that type of thing, just check it out on our website. So what I decided to do this week is we've been adding a bunch of new products to the website. So I thought instead of just doing the regular top 5, because it kind of tends to be a lot of the same stuff, I thought I'd go ahead and talk about some of the newer products that we've put out onto the website. And so, but before that, I have a special feature. So earlier in January, we worked with Superior Bearing, and they do a fantastic wide 5 bearing. Well, they've got all kinds of bearings, but we sell their wide 5 kits, and it comes with the race and the bearing, and so inner and outer, all of that. Even comes with Day Lube, so it's kind of cool because it's a collaborative project, you know, where you've got Superior Bearings and you've got Day Lube, and they work together to put it together in a kit, which I think is phenomenal. But Superior, we worked with them to do a sponsorship. So people who are winning, we decided to do not just one, but to do 2. So the 2 winners, one of them is Jeremiah Reed, and we'll go ahead and drop in his Facebook page here, his racing Facebook page. And we chose Jeremiah. He had some great things to say about what he does with sponsors. Love the fact that he's got a YouTube channel and he puts out videos on a pretty consistent basis, you know, talking about racing. So, you know, pretty cool personality, and that's what was really a driver for, you know, picking Jeremiah. And the second person is Brad Berry, so Brad Berry Racing, and I've been working with them in the Smart Racers program, my personal deal where I do winning motorsports marketing and I teach racers about marketing and sponsorship. They're a member in my program, and they also did a really good job. They're really getting going with having a website and a Facebook page, and they're just killing it on social media and doing a great job. So I knew that they would also be a really good selection to win that sponsorship. So it was kind of a committee group of us that were taking a look at those entries, and just congratulations to Jeremiah Reed and to Brad Berry on your victories. So, and in the meantime, go ahead and check out their Facebook pages and give them a like, and just kind of see what they're doing over on their pages. And just want to give them a little bit of props, and I'll be sending out their packages in the next couple of days here with their sponsorship stuff. So that was exciting to be a part of, and I really hope that there's some more opportunities down the way with manufacturers, and see if we can put together some other different kind of sponsorship deals for our viewers, for our customers. So fantastic. All right, so with that, let's talk about 5 exciting products, new products we've added to the store. And a couple of these kind of have Crate Insider's name on them, but otherwise you might not know about them. So one of these is, this is really cool, that we now have Crate Insider cover plates right here. So these are going onto your exhaust plates, and the main ones here are embossed with or lasered with Crate Insider. So we're really excited about that. And it comes with all the little bolts you need to be able to do that. So the Crate Insider engine cover plates, which are really for the exhaust or exhaust cover plates, whatever you want to say, these run $54.90 for a set. And this is all anodized aluminum, hardcore, not gonna melt, not gonna break, not gonna corrode, none of those things, and just a really nice quality. I mean, I'm not making these. Our friends over at Jones Racing Products are making these for us, and we're pretty excited about that. So that's there's not really an order of these products this week, but I guess that's number 5 of the 5 that we're talking about this week. All right, next up, in the number 4 spot, even though I said there's not really spots, but one of the most exciting products that's come out this year is these new waterproof gauges from Longacre. Now this one here happens to be one of my favorites, and this is the water pressure gauge right here. So water pressure, where it says 0 to 60. There's a great little tech tip from Ben Baker from AFCO where we talked to him, and he was telling us about how when you run you can run a water temperature gauge, but the problem is, let's say you get a hole in your radiator. Well, a water temperature gauge it can't sense the temperature of steam. So if there's no water, it'll just get stuck. It'll be stuck at whatever it was. And so you really don't know. But if you've got a water pressure gauge and all of a sudden this is like glowing red or whatever warning color it happens to be, because these will change colors and be a little bit like, some of us refer to as idiot lights, right? You're just looking for that change in color because you're clearly, if you're racing, you're not like looking at, oh, I have 61 pounds or 32 pounds or whatever. You're seeing like, hey, am I in range? Yeah, I'm good. But this way it's got a warning, and this way you would know immediately if you were losing water pressure. And heck, it's a lot easier to replace a radiator if you know that your water pressure, if something happens there, pull over, obviously, and this way you don't melt down an engine. So I think that this gauge, I don't know exactly how much this one happens to be. They range in price depending on whether you need sensors or not. What's really cool, I think it's neat that Longacre, they integrated this with their previous technology. So if you already have Longacre gauges, which means you already have the sensors, then those sensors will work with these newer gauges. So you can buy these with or without the sensors, depending on what you need, of course. So Longacre gauges, like I said, they range in price. So we'll just drop in a link to all of them because there's a huge selection of these, whether you want panels, whether you want one, or if you want like 2 or 3 of them, there's quite the selection there. All right, next up, okay, this one's just a fun one because I guess, I don't know, maybe it's a vanity thing. I like seeing Crate Insider's name on stuff, but it's really popular. So it's our Crate Insider beef jerky. No, I am not the cook of this. I don't make it, but it's from a beef jerky company that makes beef jerky. And we've been very impressed. So this is sweet teriyaki. It's got a little hint of citrus or orange, and we love our beef jerky. And so we're selling that for $8 a bag. So, it's a great little, you're probably not going to come to our website and just order beef jerky, but it's a great little add-on, when you're you know, great little snack to have while you're putting your parts on your cars. So Crate Insider Beef Jerky is a new product. All right, next up, oh, this one's exciting. Actually, I saw this originally at the Race Logic Chassis School. Ben Baker, again from AFCO, was talking about these. These are from Fast Shafts, and what it is these are drive shaft caps. So this drive shaft cap, the thing that can happen is if you over tighten your drive shaft over tighten the bolts, you can end up with some issues. So instead, by having the drive shaft cap, then this will prevent you from over tightening it. You literally cannot over tighten these because of just how it's built. So the drive shaft caps, and we will be putting out a video about those sometime soon. We haven't shot it yet. We've still got a bunch of videos we're putting out, but we will be shooting a video on that. But these are a perfect solution for that, and they run $49.99 for the set here of the drive shaft caps. Definitely recommend that. Anybody who's seen them is like, oh my gosh, what a no-brainer. Great way to use that on your drive shaft. All right, and next up, oh, this one's really special, and I know the video came out a couple weeks ago, I think, and that would be our rear mounted tandem pump setup from KRC. So here you got a power steering and fuel pump, works with an HTD drive. And you know, here's the cool thing is this tandem pump will work with a 602, it'll work with a 604, or it'll work with a 525. Same part number, everything, and it'll work with all three of those engines. So really nice that they've got such a universal design. This can go to a remote reservoir, or you can buy a reservoir separately. You'll see in the picture, it's pictured with a reservoir, and we'll be adding that to our website. I was just having that conversation today, so so we'll be adding that to our website as well. But really excited about this new tandem pump, and it comes with everything you need: the pulleys, the brackets, the belts, the whole deal, and it runs 1043.74. So gosh, I mean, just look at the quality here, guys. Look at that. Just really nice piece there. So there's our tandem pump right there, and that is in our top spot. So with that, I guess I need to figure out what to do for our giveaway, but I'm going to check out some comments. Alex, any idea what should we have people type in today?
I think we should do something about the spray lube there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's type in spray. You know, like, since we are giving away spray lube, let's just type in spray, and let's see, I could roll some dice or something. What do you think? What numbers? We're giving away 2 of them. This is a team effort here. If anybody has ideas, we just work together here. So
we'll do like 3 and 5.
Okay, 3 and 5. Okay, the 3rd person to type in spray and the 5th person to type in spray. Alex is going to keep a lookout over there, and I'm going to take a look at the other comments here. Let's see. When a PC starts getting loud, just unhook it, open it up, and blow it out with light PSI air. Oh yeah, I totally do that. I've gone through so many cans of spray cans. I found out, this is crazy, but I found out that when you start up a computer with these kind of fans and it makes creaky noises when you first start it out, it's because the bearings are cold inside of those fans.
Number 1.
Didn't know that was a thing. All right, so the first winner is KL Powell. KL, go ahead and send me a private message with your address and we'll get this sent out. Our second person is a Lucas Peterson. I'm gonna jot these down here. So KL Powell, was it Powell,
yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
KL Powell and Lucas Peterson. So I'm jotting this down, and then I'll continue looking at comments and answering questions. But Lucas and KL, please send me a private message with your address. We'll get this sent out for you. And then I'm going to see if there's any other. Okay. Hello, Kate. I asked about the solid motor mounts. I looked at them. Is there a bottom kit that they mount to? Solid motor mounts. BSB motor mounts? I'm not sure. I mean, you just bolt them to the chassis, right, Alex?
Yeah.
You just bolt them to the chassis is how they're used. Not sure what the question is. Let's see, I'm still looking for a couple of discharge motor nozzles. Do you know where I can find some? Just contact Fire Bottle directly, and they can help you out with any of the nozzles. They'll handle that, no problem. Won't those rob horsepower? I don't know which product we're talking about for robbing horsepower. Let's see. Engine for another. Okay. Let's see. And oh, there we go. There's all of our sprays here. I'm just gonna see if there's any other comments or questions here. Well, it looks like that's what we've got this week for Top 5 Tuesday. And I wanna thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for being part of Crate Insider. And I will look forward to seeing you next week at Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Have a great week.